Okay, in this video, we're going to cover the goal seek functionality. So what goal seek does is, let's say we know that we have a certain goal, right? So for argument's sake, let's say our goal is that we basically want to make 500,000 Rand of gross profit. Assuming that the number of units we're going to sell is 1,000 and the gross profit margin is 20%, we want to find out what should our selling price be in order for us to reach a gross profit target of 500,000 Rand. So let's look at how we would do that using the goal seek. So under the what if analysis, we select this option goal seek. Now the goal seek says which cell do you want to change. So we want to change this cell. Now remember, this cell is a formula. The one that you always select here, the set cell, is going to be a formula that's based on a calculation, right? So we're saying we want this cell to go to 500,000, right? But by changing which cell, so we want to change the selling price cell, so we click on the selling price cell. So we effectively telling Excel, get this 100,000, this current cell here, which is currently on 100,000, but get it to a value of 500,000 by changing the selling price. And if I say okay, Excel basically then does a calculation, and it's worked out that at a selling price of 2,500 Rand, we would basically get to a 500,000 Rand profit. That's assuming, of course, that 1,000 units are sold and it's a 20% margin. So the one thing I want to point out with this is that the way the goal seek works is you can change the target value to what you're aiming to achieve, but you can only change one of the inputs. Remember, we couldn't change all three inputs. Any one of these inputs changing obviously affects the gross profit. But the way the goal seek works is we can only change one of them, so it's assuming that the others will remain at the value that we had. So let's say I say, okay, now it doesn't only have to be the selling price, right? Let's assume I wanted to get to 400,000 Rand a year. I was targeting 400,000, but I actually only wanted to change the gross profit margin, right? And again, the same principle would apply. I would say, okay, going to the goal seek, I want to set this B9 to 400,000, and I want Excel to basically work out what the gross profit margin needs to be in order for this gross profit to amount to 400,000. I click on OK. It does the calculation and it's worked out at a 16% margin. We would get to a 400,000 Rand gross profit. If I want to keep the result, I click on OK. If I don't want to keep it, I click to cancel and it'll go back to what it previously was. So that's basically what the goal seek is. It is a useful function in certain circumstances.